Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to AoE3 Casts. I am joined by Dror, my new good friend.
Hello. How's everybody doing?
And today we will be casting Sdsanft, which from now on we will refer to as SD because that's just an awkward name, versus Anonymous. The first game will be Brit against India on Thar Desert. So let's green up here and let's go. This will be a best of 3, and the players have agreed upon the rules that the winner of the game will pick the next map, but that the loser of the game will get to counterpick the Civ. So if Anonymous wins this game, he gets to pick the map, but he also has to pick Civs first.
Yes, I believe that's how it's supposed to be going. But India versus Brit, what is your opinion on this, Chrissy?
This is not a matchup I've seen very often, but from reading the lobby, it seems like SD has absolutely no clue how to handle India. So...
it certainly seems like a Civ that he doesn't like to play against. And I think every player has that Civ that is just kind of that one that is a thorn in your side.
Yeah, for me that's France. I hate that Civ.
I think for me it is either Brit or India. I also don't do very well versus India, but maybe that's just because I play Dutch all of the time.
But in the top of the map we do have SD playing as Brits in the color blue, and in the bottom of the map his opponent in the color red playing India, Anonymous _01.
As opposed to _02.
And immediately I already spotted some pretty nice wood treasures on the right side of the map here. We have a relatively small one, and then a somewhat bigger one over here. And another one over here.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see who scouts out this right side of the map first, because it seems that's where the heftiest treasures are.
And India, of course, does have the advantage that they have 2 elephants to scout with, so...
Definitely.
And we do see a market start from the Brit player here.
Interesting. You know, usually Brit, you usually go double manor or manor market. Which one do you think is better, Chrissy?
Yes.
I think it depends. The double manor gives you a bit more tempo, but the market start, of course, just gives you a lot more versatility.
I mean, it allows him to get that hunting dogs right away, which... for Brit, you know, when you're that food intensive is an important aspect.
Oh, for sure. And you don't need to, like, get some wood during transition to get a market up. Although I guess as Brit you are getting wood in transition anyway, just because manors are so good. But yeah, you just have early hunting dogs. With Mage, you can get steel traps earlier as well. You could even get placer mines or, what's it called, gang saw during transition as well. It just gives you some extra options.
It's interesting that neither of the players have... It doesn't look like either of them have even touched the right side of the map where the bulky treasures are. They've cleared out the treasures on the left side, but those are pretty small coin treasures. Not really helpful at the start of the game.
Are heading in that direction now, though. They're also going to pass by this enormous treasure, of course. This is just... let's just say interesting.
Yep. It's... you know, usually we talk about resource treasures as being the big ones, but I mean, do you think that's worth the time to go and? You know, I guess it really depends on what kind of units
you're going to go for. Certainly not without an army. Like without an army, taking this is just like, I don't know, like 50 seconds of your time, if not more.
Yep, and that is crucial for scouting. But he is going to get this 50 wood treasure, so I mean, India's starting off pretty good. Looks like it's going to be the aggressive aggro right in the middle. What do you think of that placement?
I think it's reasonable. It's a bit annoying, of course. He would prefer to have it maybe over here somewhere, but those 3 trees are just really, really blocking him. I'm not sure if he can place it here because that's probably too close to the DC.
Yeah, I think he would have liked to have it here just so we could have it by the hunts and the coin mine, but I certainly don't disagree with the spot he has it in now.
Yeah, for sure. It's about as good as he could get it, I think. Like, maybe this might be slightly better because it's just, you know, positioned a bit more well, not defensively, but covered, I would say, because of these trees.
It's kind of interesting to look. India is almost halfway aged, and the Brit player hasn't even started aging yet.
Yeah, this is just a very aggressive, either a 10-10 or an 11-20. Like, he's 11-20 right now, but I didn't see if he made the aggro before he was 11-20, but I think he did.
Yeah, I think, the 2 Sepoy and then the 5 Sepoy are going to come out.
Yeah, this is just about as aggressive as you can possibly play as India.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he does have... Huh, it's interesting. He has a lot of camel cards in his deck, Anonymous does.
Yeah, and he's going to find this treasure now, so...
Okay, there we go. So, India definitely winning Age 1, both in Age Up Time and Wood Treasures. I really don't know how the Brit can respond to this. I don't think there's any way he's going to get out units before the Sepoy come marching into his base.
Yeah,
so,
for sure. And we actually saw this exact matchup on this exact map with the exact same spawn locations. I think the aggro is in the exact position as well. And that was in the Insight Invitational. Here. We actually saw this exact thing as well. And yeah, I don't think he's going to be in time there to contest that treasure, though, especially because of his pattern being a bit off. But that forward villager is interesting, though. He is very aggressively hurting.
Yeah. He's got to be a little bit careful. I mean, it's a good thing that he's hurting, but I don't know. Elephants are just one of the hardest animals to herd just because they take so many shots.
Yeah, for sure. And there's also only, 3 animals, which makes it very difficult to hurt them.
Yeah. I mean, by the time you get back to your base, there's just not much left. But he is being smart here. He's gathering up coins, so I'm wondering if that coin's not for Minutemen. It could be for steel traps, but seeing this aggro, I think he needs to get up some defenses soon.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Get the outpost wagon. He's gonna put that. Ooh, I'm not a big fan of the outpost placement.
Yeah, that's a bit awkward.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess you could say it's because of, the elephants were coming, but I don't know. I mean, look at this. 7 Sepoy coming into the base.
I can see why he's placing it there, though. It's where he herded his hunts, and it's also where his current copper mine is. So it's just an extremely defensive outpost.
Yeah. Barracks coming up. Sepoy not really doing much, but here, okay, this looks like go time. 5 more Sepoy coming, so it looks like there's going to be about 12 Sepoy coming into his base, and I really don't know what SD is going to do about this. Just got the barracks up.
Yeah, I really don't like how Anonymous just sacrificed his elephants, though. Those are just so crucial if Longbow come out to just chase them down.
Yeah, I mean, the elephants can be huge for soaking up damage, so to just lose them like that, really kind of quite unnecessarily. And he's going to lose another Sepoy here to TC fire. Going to pick off a Vil. Causing a lot of idle time, so that's definitely a good thing, but I really don't know how effective this push is really going to be.
Yeah, there is a tower and a TC there, and these Sepoy, they have a lot of hit points, but
and
they
here comes
still
the
don't want to
and +5 longbow. Yeah, he's got to get out of here. He's going to lose a lot of... But he's trapped in the back of the base. Ooh.
Yeah, and this is why it's crucial to have your elephants alive here. Like, he could just walk up to those longbow and kill them if he had his elephants.
Yeah. Bringing in his... So, the Brit player looks like he sent 700 wood as his next shipment. Could be using that for more matters.
If Anonymous can spot here that 6 longbow have been shipped, and he should figure it out now because this is not the number of longbow you can get out at this time as Brit. So he knows 6 longbow has been shipped. And that means just get Cav. Get your 4-hour card now.
Which will be good because he does have a lot of camel upgrades in his deck. So if that's something he plays towards, it could be good for him. But, the economic unit population is actually pretty even. But this is not a fight that India wants to be taking right now. He should really be waiting for his 4 hours to show up. He's taking the outpost, the TC, the longbow, the Minutemen. Yeah.
I can kind of understand that he wants to poke in and pick off the 1 HP Minutemen, but that was just a lot of resources wasted.
Yeah.
I don't like this 600 wood next shipment for India. You're playing super aggressive.
Yeah.
Like,
I
4
don't know,
Sours could just wreck this entire army.
making more Sepoy when I really think he should be making Sours at this point, but
You can't make Sours from the Agra fort, though, I think. Not until you upgrade it.
no. But maybe that 600 wood is to get a stable down, and
He's following it up with a consulate to get even more musketeer-type units out, but I don't think you need more musketeer-type units. You need some cav.
yes, definitely he needs more cavalry than he does.
Although there is some pikes out at the moment, but...
Yeah. Building... What did he ship? Did he ship 8 pike?
No, he made those from the barracks.
Oh, wow, that's a lot of wood that could have gone into manors. I mean, I know the cav are coming, but...
Yeah, and with
I
the
don't know
cav
about that
not
one.
coming, these pikes are actually a really big mistake.
Yeah, I mean, they're...
I see why he's
definitely
doing
like
it,
what
though.
he's doing.
Yep,
Yep.
it makes sense.
But, I mean, once you take the Minutemen out of this army, the Brit player really doesn't have all that much.
No, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of Sepoy here, and just think what four Sour would do to that army. You could kite, you could pick off the pikemen, and then you could just wreck these longbows. More longbows coming
sure.
up from the Brit player.
I really don't like how he's not adding in a stable. Like, why is he adding in even more Sepoy? He has a consulate. Like, his next shipment is going to be the 300 export. He is going to get, what is it, like 6 extra musketeers? He doesn't need even more musketeers. He needs
No.
something to diversify his army.
Yep. And yeah, there's not much happening from either player. The Brit kind of playing defensive, but look at the food in his base. It's practically depleted, and he's gonna have to move out here. And boy, I don't know what either of them are. I really don't know what builds they're trying to do right now. But this all Sepoy mass really isn't good for
Oh,
the
look at
India player.
this. He is counter-herding the elephants.
Oh, what a cheap.
Yeah, I guess
know
this is
what?
Anonymous's plan. It's why he's not going for Sours. He's just saying, I'm not going to attack you. I'm just going to wait here. You're running out of food. I scouted your entire base and its surroundings. I know you are going to run out of hunts soon. So you're going to push out with that army of longbow you have there, and my Sepo will be there. And that's
Yeah.
the most dead Minuteman ever. It got shot like 20 times at one hit
Yeah.
point.
I don't know. I mean, the economic unit population is what I've been focusing on right now, and you know the Brit player is pulling ahead, which is expected when you're playing against Brit. But
Especially because India went like hyper-aggressive.
yeah,
and
these
didn't
4
do any
villagers
build
out
damage.
here trying to herd the elephant. He's gonna put a manor house down here, but he's got a lot of villagers exposed out here. He should bring his longbow forward. He's gonna lose a vill,
Oh, for
Yep.
sure.
but the longbow gonna do a lot of damage. Sending in the pikemen, not the best idea. You really should keep
They
the
are in
pikemen
cover
back.
mode,
They're not
though.
gonna. That's true. They are tanking some damage, but he's going to lose all of his anti-cav, and I mean that's a lot of spent wood that just really didn't have much use.
His longbowmen are also just focus firing the same Sepoy, which
Yeah.
is quite a bit of wasted damage.
And
yeah, there's the
three-
redcoats.
3. It looks like it's going to be 4. Yeah, 4 villagers. Here come the redcoats.
Yes.
Yeah, and he's saving up for a mill, I think.
Yeah, but I mean a mill at this point when you know the India player is still happily on hunts right now, just because he's had no pressure in his base whatsoever. Trying to build up more manors, but they're just going to get picked off by the Sepoy. Now I think is the time that India gets down the stable, gets into Sawar, and really pushes in.
Especially because he picked off all the pikemen.
Yep. I mean, the Brit player, he has nothing to counter this. I mean, he's got 4 more pikemen coming out, but honestly, what are 4 pikes going to do? And
do his
there,
stable.
there comes the Caravanesi.
Yeah,
Finally,
he is adding in the
from-
musketeers now, though, the Brit player.
Yeah.
He needs
I
to
just
finish
think
those
it-
manors, though.
I think it's just too little too late. The Brit player is so resource starved, and there's nowhere he can move out. I mean, he can move out. He can't move out here because even here the hunting isn't. I mean, it's very exposed. But we will have to see. Yeah, the economic unit population has pretty much gone down to even because of the massive amount of villagers that the Brit player has lost.
India is actually ahead because of the trickles.
Yep.
And India actually has slightly better upgrades as well.
Yep. He's got the distributism. He's got the. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about this card order. 3 Vil, 700 wood, 6 longbow, 5 Vil, 600 wood. A very economic build from the Brit player, but.
Yeah, you can't do it on this map though. Like Thar Desert is relatively low on hunts, so.
Yeah, I mean there is a reason they call it a desert.
Yes.
I mean it doesn't provide a whole lot of resources. It doesn't provide a trading post line that you can supplement it off of. And with this aggro fort here, there's just. I think the India player is in a very favorable position. Okay, so we have a couple of Sawars coming out, but I don't think he'll want to push just yet. There is quite a few musket here.
And a couple of pikemen left as well.
Yeah.
I mean, this game isn't actually over quite yet. Like, although, okay, with where the India army is going now, it is going to be over relatively soon, though, I think.
Oh, no. Yep. You know, I don't want to call it over yet either. The problem I'm seeing is just after these elephants are gone,
Yeah.
there is absolutely nowhere for the Brit player to go. And I don't think he feels comfortable pushing out with his army and taking on this India army.
And as we all know, mills are not the greatest income of food.
Oh, no. In fact, they're probably the worst. I mean...
They're better than berries. Because berries
They
don't
are.
last forever. But,
They are.
of
but
course,
they really
berries
are
are
last
free,
resort.
which the mill
Yes.
isn't. But
And we do have more Sawars coming out. So 6 Sawars all in total.
I mean, the British is actually ahead in the army at the moment. The problem is these longbow are just so immobile because they need to stand still for like a second to shoot.
He really needs to keep this together. Yeah, I mean, there's just... I think the India player... I don't... It's hard to tell right now who has the advantage because, you know, Brit has the army advantage, but
Not anymore,
then again...
Not anymore.
No. Oh, no. Huge pop of Sawars, and he really can't be putting them up against the musket and the pike. He needs to get them on the longbow. Taking a lot of unnecessary
like he is
damage
fighting
from the
under the
pikemen.
aggro, which is just very good for him. But
Yeah.
his Sawars are really getting melted here. They are in a very poor position.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to lose the majority of his Sawars here.
The thing is though, like at this
And-
moment, Brit is not really gathering food. Like he just now got back on those elephants, but as you said, like once that runs out.
Yeah. Yeah,
Although this
losing
was
a lot of...
massive army loss though, which might be enough to give the advantage to SD. Yeah, and it probably is.
Yeah, I mean, even after... Even if he takes out all this sepoy, where does he go from there? You know, he doesn't have any siege potential to attack this forward base.
That's true. All his siege units are dead.
And, you know, with the stable right here, who knows? You know, 5 Sawars could be coming out, and it could wreck this army.
Well, like, longbow are surprisingly good against cav once you get enough of them, just because their DPS is so high. So I don't think 5 Sawar is going to be enough, especially because Sawar are also a low HP cav unit.
That's true. That's true.
But yeah, he can't take down this aggro, so the best he can do at the moment... Well, he might be able to take down the aggro because the aggro does no damage pretty much, but... It
No.
would be so bad efficiency-wise for him.
Yep. And sending in 700 coin, I wonder if the Brit player is going to try to get up to the 3rd age, but if he gets up to the 3rd age,
Oh,
I
there's the
don't know.
Sawars though, and together with the sepoy, they can totally take down the longbow.
But he's got to watch out for these pike again. He's got to get the sepoy on the pikemen. Doing a good job body blocking there, but I mean, I like his use of pikemen, but pikemen, the later you get into the game, the more inefficient they really are.
Yeah, for sure. And like, what India needs to do here is just not die.
Yeah.
Avoid dying. If you don't die, you win the game here. The British hunt
look-
is really rapidly running out.
Yeah, look at how many, 2 elephants left, and then there's just, this is really going to be the only hunt he can go to. But with these pikemen, he does have a lot of siege potential now.
Yeah, but that's still an aggro fort there, and like the fort itself won't be able to kill this army, but the moment he goes into siege, the sepoy will get some shots off on the pikemen.
Yep.
He
And
really
that's what
should
he needs
focus
to
the
do.
pikemen with the aggro though, I think. Although I guess he has more sepoy than... No, he has way more Sarge. He needs to focus the pikemen at the moment.
Yep. Musketeers coming in. So the Brit player looking good at the moment, but still am worried about the potential he has for food income, which
Yeah,
is...
just look at this resource distribution. He has a ton of coin. And he doesn't have 700... Oh, wait, no, never mind. Yeah, he does have 700 food in Zach, and there it is now. That 700 food is going to be what keeps him alive for a couple more minutes, but he really needs to do something with that 700 food.
Yes.
Oh,
here comes the big block of
Tiger
pikemen.
Claws!
He needs to get him out there. Oh! An excellent shipment, but... Yep, these are gonna...
Yeah,
he
these
needs
are
to
going
get those
to
pikemen
rip
down.
through everything. Together with the Sour and the
Oh
Seapoy, everything is
my.
going to die here most likely.
Look at that British army.
And once the longbow
Oh.
dies, he has no way of dealing with Seapoy.
Nope. And the longbow are just getting melted. Excellent, excellent shipment by Anonymous.
Tiger Claws are just so good against longbow.
Oh.
Even more so than they normally are against skirmishers, just because longbow are so immobile. They have to stand still to shoot. And in that time, the Tiger Claw just rushes up to them and just rips them to
And
shreds.
the first mill coming up for the Brit player, but I mean, I don't want to call it too early, but look at all of these villagers exposed
Yeah,
out
for
here.
sure.
The Seapoy, the Indian player knows they're there. He's going to get a huge raid. I don't think there's much left that the Brit player can do at this point.
Yeah, and you know how bad mills are? Like, I still think that SD should have made a mill slightly earlier instead of just gathering like this 1500 coin he can't spend. Like, yes, mills suck. We all know. But it's better than nothing.
Yeah. Well, that's the first game. The first game does go to Anonymous. A pretty interesting game. But I think we'll exit out of here and head to our next game.
Yeah, and like, SD complaining a bit here how there are no hunts on this map. Yes, there aren't, but that isn't necessarily a bad thing. Not every map needs to have safe hunts until 20 minutes. Map variance is incredibly important for a competitive scene. It is
That's
important
very,
that on
very
some
true.
maps there just are no hunts and that there is a short rush distance, just so that other civs that thrive in such conditions also have some maps they can play.
Mm-hmm. You know, if I just had to pull an example off the top of my head, you know, Dutch would be a wonderful civ for this map. They don't need a lot of food. They can just depend. I mean, Dutch is one of the best turtling civs in the game. Now, I don't know how well they stack up against India, but I think it would have been a better pick than Brit, who is extremely food dependent.
Yeah, for sure. And not just food dependent, but hunt dependent. Like,
Very.
we all know that British is notorious for just chewing through hunts at insane speeds.
Yes, and it's, you know, it's one of those things that you kind of get taken aback when you start playing Brit. Maybe if you're used to playing other civs and you look at your hunts and they just evaporate, it's really a learning curve that you have to get over. But still, I think it was a pretty good game. I do like that the push that SD made in the middle of the game is just that Tiger Claw pop just wrecked that massive longbows.
Yeah, for sure. The couple of mistakes that I do have to point Anonymous out on is, of course, the sacrificing his elephants at the start.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, you know, because of the lag, just suiciding his Sawars.
Yeah. And that was, you know, it was just kind of, they popped out in a very bad position. The pikes were right on top of him, and he couldn't really get them into the fight until they had taken a lot of damage.